Okay, we're going to demonstrate how to properly solder copper stranded wire for the purpose of circuit repair or wiring harness repair. I've got my wire strippers. This is 14 gauge wire. I need to expose the insulation or expose the copper from the insulation. So I'm going to strip off about almost an inch from each of these. I'm going to leave them kind of spread apart. I'm definitely not going to twist them until I've got them together. I'm going to put about a third of it at the end where I'll make an X and kind of twist it together while I pull out and away so that the ends of the wire will kind of mold, almost forming that shape, looking like my two hands joined together. I've already got one piece in the vise. I've got my soldering iron set up. I've got a wet paper towel to help with tinning. I've got my solder. I do need to turn on my exhaust system. In doing so, I will now check my soldering iron for proper tin. That way I have a good exchange of heat. If it's not clean and shiny and silver, I'll have problems with it transferring heat from the soldering iron to my copper. When I begin, I'm going to lightly pick up on the copper and then apply solder between the soldering iron and the copper wiring. I'm going to add it a little bit in the same area. I won't go too far away or too far towards the ends of the insulation because I don't want the solder to go down into the insulation because it'll overheat it and potentially causing it to crack, become brittle, and with exposure of moisture is what we don't want. So I'm going to start on my soldering iron first, and I'll start carrying it over into my wire. It will soak in. I'm going to hold it on there for another second. I will wipe off again with my wet paper towel and make sure I'm ready for the next solder. And this is my end result. This one here, if I were to inspect it, has the wires, the strands are protruding up just a hair. If I have those poking out, the potential to poke through my insulator that I'm going to put over top, whether it's electrical tape or heat shrink, is a little bit high, and I don't want that because those wires can touch metal or other wires and cause an arc or short.